One of the most difficult questions in the Duolingo English test is speak about the photo. So that's what we're looking at today. We're going to do 3 practice questions. You're going to have a chance to speak. I'll also give you sample answers and I'll show you how you can score 140 or higher on your Duolingo English test. So let's get started. Hello and welcome. I'm Francis from Last Minute English. Thank you for joining us. So we're going to be looking at those speak about the photo questions. And the first thing that I want you to do is to find something to record your own answers because you're going to be involved in today's video. We're going to be looking at 3 of those questions and each time you're going to have a try. Okay, so make sure you find a phone or something else to record your voice. So let's jump straight in with the first practice question. I'm going to show you a photo. You'll have 90 seconds to talk about it. And then after that, I'll show you a sample answer. Okay, but make sure you record yourself. Now, when you're answering, try to give as much detail as you can. Try to talk for 70 or 80 seconds. You'll be able to see a timer on the screen. Just try to keep talking. Think about who is in the photo, what's happening, how does the photo make you feel, and any other details you can include. Sound good? Let's take a look at that first question. Let's start now. All right, so welcome back. How did that feel the first time? Let's take a look at the sample answer. Now, this would be a very high-level sample answer. I'm going to show you on screen, and I'm going to read it for you as well, so that if you want to practice and copy my pronunciation and my intonation, how my voice goes up and down, you can do. All right, let's take a look through. So, this black and white photo shows a close-up portrait of an older woman with short white hair. She seems quite relaxed. Her arms are crossed and she's leaning on what appears to be a table. I think she might be in a cafe or kitchen, but the blurred background makes it hard to tell for sure. Her face has a lot of wrinkles showing her age, but there's a kindness in her expression. Her eyes seem to hold a gentle warmth. Even though she's not smiling widely, there's a slight upward curve to her lips. Perhaps she's thinking of something pleasant. I wonder if she's waiting for someone to join her or just enjoying the atmosphere of the place. Either way, she projects a very welcoming, comfortable energy. So that is a pretty high level answer. I think I would probably get at least 150. I would hope to get 160 for that answer. And what makes it good? So of course, pronunciation was good and, fluency and things like that. But the content of the answer is what we're going to be thinking about. So first of all, I made it quite detailed. I didn't just say, there is a woman. She is old. I gave much more detail. I talked about what she looks like, where she is, what the expression is on her face. I also made some guesses about maybe how she feels, what she's doing. Is she waiting for someone? So I really filled out that idea of this lady in the photo. I also used a natural tone. I wasn't super formal. For these speaking questions, you don't have to be very, very, very formal, okay? But also don't be too informal. You want to be somewhere in the middle, and I think this is a good example of that. And I also used some higher level vocabulary. So I said it was a close-up portrait. I said that she has a lot of wrinkles. I also said that she projects a certain energy. Projects means like she gives out that energy. Now, we don't have to make every word advanced vocabulary. That would be crazy. But we can drop some high-level words in. And we actually have a great video with a list of 20 really good words that can help you score 160 on the Duolingo English test. And you can find the link to that up here, or it's here under the video. So now that you're getting used to these questions and getting used to recording yourself, and by the way, it's really important to do the recording part, because the more you practice speaking under pressure, not just thinking in your head, but actually speaking into your phone, the better prepared you're going to be for the real exam, where you have to speak and have the computer record you. And you, of course, feel a lot of pressure. So, all of that being said, let's try question 2. Again, I'll show you a photo. You have 90 seconds. Give as much detail as you can. Let's have a look now. All right, how did that feel? Hopefully you're feeling a little bit more comfortable each time you do it. You get more and more comfortable, and then in the exam, you feel absolutely confident. Let's take a look at an answer now, a sample answer. Now, to help you here, I've put this one into, I think, more advanced vocabulary. If I was really answering this in the exam, I wouldn't use so many of these words. But just to give you guys an example, I've included a lot of high-level vocabulary here, okay? So let's take a look through. Oh, and by the way, you can find all of these answers under the video as well. So, in a bustling open-air market, dozens of stalls fill the scene. The towering structures in the background suggest the location of a city or town. A warm glow illuminates the market, contrasting against the overcast sky, with beautiful lights crisscrossing the central walkway. You see, there's a lot of good vocabulary there. Let's continue. There are fabrics with vibrant hues hanging from the stalls, with colors ranging from scarlet and aquamarine to sunburst yellows. Customers browse the stalls, some stopping to examine the mouth-watering offerings. The market appears to be a food market, with fresh fruits and vegetables piled high on the stalls. The busy atmosphere would leave me feeling a mix of excitement and sensory overload. I can almost hear the lively talking and the calls of vendors trying to get the attention of potential customers. The air is likely filled with a sweet blend of exotic spices and freshly baked goods. So, why is that a good answer? There's a few things that we can learn from it, except for the vocabulary, and there's lots of vocabulary. So also, I went into a lot of detail about what I could see. For example, I talked about the fruit that's piled high in the stalls. I also gave the idea of what it would be like to actually be there. I could imagine the people like calling and saying, "Hey, come over here," getting the attention of the customers passing by. And I also shared my personal feelings. That's an interesting thing to do. How does the photo make you feel? So I said, I would feel very excited if I was there, but also it might be kind of too much. Sensory overload means there's so many sights and sounds and smells that you feel like, oh my God, it's almost too much. There's too much happening. So by using my feelings, I'm filling out my answer and I'm making my answer much more interesting than just saying, there is a market, there are fruits and people. Now, just before we move to the third photo and also the third answer, let me just remind you that I really want you to be recording yourself, and a step that we haven't talked about, listening to yourself afterwards. That's such an important step for understanding how good your English really is. Because when you're, for example, me, when I'm speaking Spanish, if I just speak to someone, I feel like I'm talking quite fast. I feel like my pronunciation is correct. But then if I actually listen to a recording of myself, I can notice, oh my God, there was a big pause here when I was looking for that word. And, well, that word doesn't sound correct. That sounds like I'm English, not like I'm a native Spanish speaker. So you'll notice these things more if you actually listen to the recordings. That's a really important step for improving your English by yourself and getting those higher scores. Anyway, all of that being said, let's take a look at the last photo. Again, 90 seconds. Try to speak for at least 70. I'm going to show it to you now. Good luck, and I'll see you on the other side. All right, welcome back. So let's take a look at a sample answer. Again, I've put lots of high-level vocabulary in, more than you would really need to actually use in the exam, but it's good for you to be exposed to this vocabulary, okay? Don't worry if your answer isn't as advanced as this, okay? Just take one or two words and try and put them into your own answer, and that will just raise the level a little bit of your answer. Anyway, let's look. At the break of dawn, hot air balloons in a variety of hues fill the sky over a tree-lined river, creating a mesmerizing display. The sky's fiery oranges, pinks, and purples are mirrored in the calm water below. A dozen or so hot air balloons of various sizes and colors drift majestically across the sky. Their reflections can be seen rippling on the water's surface. Some balloons are adorned with black and white checkered patterns, while others are one solid color. Mist rises along the edges of the water, with lush green bushes and trees lining the riverbanks. The scene evokes a sense of peace, tranquility, and awe as the beauty of nature is highlighted by human ingenuity. So there you go. And again, you can find this under the video. And if you want to watch my reading of the answer again and practice, that's a really good way. It's called shadowing. It's a great way to improve your pronunciation and your fluency, and it's also quite good at improving your listening skills. So make sure you do that. So why was this a good answer? Of course, there was the vocabulary. We have words like mesmerizing and hues and majestically. So we're using high-level vocabulary, and we're giving a lot of detail. We're not just saying there is a river. We're saying that it's a tree-lined riverbank, and we're talking about the mist that's rising. So we're talking in lots of detail, and we're really filling that 90 seconds and creating a very clear picture in the mind of the person who's listening. And I always think that's the best way to think about it. Imagine that you can see this photo and you're describing the photo for someone who can't see it, but that person who can't see it has to try to draw the photo based on your answer, on the way that you describe it. So try to make it as detailed as you can so that that person can make an accurate drawing. So there we go. Those are our 3 answers. Remember, you can find those under the video. And if you are preparing for the Duolingo English test, we have a free guide on our website that gives you all of the information you need about the different questions and also which universities are accepting the DET as a proof of your English and what kind of score you need to get, and lots more information as well. That's also here under the video. Make sure to check that out. And if you want to keep improving your performance, there's a great video you should watch, which is how to practice and prepare for the listen and speak questions. Another very difficult type of question. You can find the link to that just here. I'm Francis from Last Minute English. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.